Follow the Irish all season long right here on Pulse FM, 96.9 WHPZ Bremen, 92.1 WHPD Dowagiac.
Now they try to go inside, and Enrique Ogumbawali. A 3-on-1 break. Got it to Marina, laid it up and in.
Your home for Notre Dame women's basketball is Pulse FM.
Kicks it out top to Westbelt. Her 10-footer is good.
Welcome to the Muffet McGraw Show.
Goes to Brianna Turner. Backdoor pass. Catcher Westbelt. Put it up and in.
Featuring the head coach of the Fighting Irish women's basketball team, Muffet McGraw.
Allen, right side. Jackie Young, 3 and away. Got it.
Tonight's show is brought to you by First Source Bank, by the Tire Rack, and by O'Rourke's Public House at Eddy Street Commons.
Brianna Turner gets in the corner. Michael Johnson, 3, and the Irish lead by 2.
The Muffet McGraw Show is hosted by the voice of Fighting Irish women's basketball, Bob Nagel.
Cross court, it goes to Young. Her jumper on the way. Got it. 3-pointer. Jackie Young makes it a 2-point ball game.
Now, live from Eddy Street Commons and O'Rourke's Public House, it's the Muffet McGraw Show on Pulse FM.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to O'Rourke's Public House. Give yourselves a big hand for being here. We couldn't wait to see you. It was a long trip to beautiful Oregon.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's good to be back, isn't it, Coach?
It is.
Yeah, we had a great contest there with a wonderful opponent in Oregon State, one of the top teams. They won the Pac-12 the last 3 years in a row. We found that out because they started the game dropping banners all over us. They had a Coach of the Year, Pac-12 honor, Sweet 16. Pretty exciting program to come out there where the win was great. And, Coach, it's great to have a chance to be back on the show this year. We're going to have 5 shows overall, and this is number 1, obviously. But things are going well, and we're off to a good start. Yeah,
it's been a great start, but isn't it great to be back here at O'Rourke's? Love the food here.
Yeah, I got to recommend the Scotch eggs if you get a chance, but that's later in the show. We're going to have Kayla Turner's going to join us, one of the
all-time favorites.
All-time favorites. Great leader. Member of a team that did a lot of special things. We're going to talk about that senior year that she and, some other, Skylar Diggins, I think, was on that team.
I remember her.
Yeah. And we're also going to visit with a couple of our outstanding players. We have a freshman with us, Danielle Patterson. And we have to get Danielle up here relatively quickly because she can't be out after curfew. So we got to get Danielle back to campus. And also joining us, somebody who's not worried about curfew, is Lily Thompson. Lily's a grad student who's here from Texas is her hometown, so we're looking forward to talking to Lily as well, and we're going to get a chance also to talk to Neil Ivey, who's going to be with us on the show today. So a lot of fun things coming up. We want everybody here to enjoy yourselves, but also if you have any questions you want to ask, we're going to pick a couple of questions to get some prizes when we're finished, so we're going to have a good time tonight. We're glad you're here at O'Rourke's Public House. We're going to take a break. We'll be back to talk to Coach McGraw about the start of the season and the wonderful players who are making it so exciting for us. We're back in just a moment here at O'Rourke's Public House at Eddy Street Commons.
Big banks brag about technology while taking customers for granted with poor customer service when you need help in person. First Source Bank has great technology with highly rated mobile apps. Big banks don't all have highly rated apps like us, but we also have something even more important that big banks don't. Great personal customer service. We're rated the best service in the Midwest 2 years in a row. You deserve better. Switch to First Source Bank. We'll serve you well personally and with highly rated mobile apps. Don't settle for less. Switch today and partner with us. First Source Bank. Member FDIC.
Join the gang at O'Rourke's Public House, located in Eddy Street Commons, directly across the street from the Notre Dame campus. With an extensive selection of menu items, they're sure you'll find something to your liking. Experience dining at one of the 5 different Irish-themed areas overlooking Notre Dame's beautiful campus. Whether you're catching up with an old friend, having a meeting, or enjoying dinner with your family, O'Rourke's is the place to be. Visit them online at o'rourkespublichouse.com. Cheers to the Irish from O'Rourke's, the official home of the Muffet McGraw radio show.
3 great programs, countless savings, 1 location. Get a jump start on your shopping with great deals during the Early Bird Black Friday sale for Notre Dame men's basketball, women's basketball, and hockey. Avoid the shopping lines and enjoy the convenience of ordering tickets from home at UND.com/buy tickets. On sale now. Receive up to 50% off regular pricing. For hockey, prices start at just $10 for reserved seats for Big Ten Series Showdown with perennial powerhouse Minnesota on November 24th and 25th. Also, don't miss Notre Dame men's basketball with Upper Arena tickets just $10 for non-conference matchups in December. Women's basketball tickets are just $5 for Upper Arena and include December matchups with Michigan State and DePaul, along with ACC matchups against Clemson in January and North Carolina in February. The Notre Dame Athletics Black Friday sale. On sale now and ends the 28th at midnight. Save up to 50% off. tickets, visit UND.com/buy tickets or call 574-631-7356. Go Irish.
Live from O'Rourke's Public House in Eddy Street Commons, it's the Muffet McGraw Show on Pulse FM.
And we welcome you back to O'Rourke's Public House. Glad you're with us here. Coach Muffet McGraw alongside. I'm Bob Nagel, and excited to be not only here at O'Rourke's, but back in town. And that's something we're going to have to say a few times in the next couple of weeks, Coach. We have a schedule that's been unbelievable to start the season, 7 road games in a row. We got 2 of them out of the way and heading to Florida, but it's a test that you really want. I know you'd like to have more home games if you could work it out, but it's just the way it worked out.
I'd like to play them all at home if it was possible. Yeah. And we do. We have a lot of trouble. Last year, I think 10 straight on the road. This year, we cut it down to 7, so we're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, it's been a test. We did get to play at home. We had an exhibition game that was fun because you got to get a lot of people in the ball game. And we got to see a couple of our freshmen who did an outstanding job in that game, and especially Michaela Vaughn. I was looking at her minutes played afterward. 22 minutes, she had 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 block shots. Pretty impressive duo that we brought in as freshmen this year, she and Danielle Patterson.
Yeah, they're setting a high bar for the freshmen. It's a really good thing, but really excited about both of their potentials.
We kind of joked a little bit about you having the nickname Noah early on because we had 2 freshmen, 2 walk-ons, 2 transfers, 2 ACLs, and 2 weeks till Kat Westfeld is healthy. So 2 of everything, but one of the big challenges, obviously, is learning how to mix this group together. Which 2 or 3 play together well? What do we do defensively in situations? How do we match up? It's almost like it's not Sudoku, which you really enjoy, but it's kind of a test early on.
It's a puzzle. It really is, and I love a challenge. I love putting puzzles together, but this one is it's been a lot of fun because we do have so many different players. So many people can complement each other. Some people just really can play with anyone. But we have so many different weapons and so many people that can score. We're looking for people that can defend and rebound. We have size. We can come in with a really big team. We could stay small. I mean, we just have a lot going on. But, starting at Western Kentucky, just looking at these road games, amazing how crowds are really coming out to see us play.
And I think the Hilltoppers are going to be one of those teams that will challenge for a conference championship. I mean, this is a team with a lot of talent. We found a way to defend them, and I thought we did a good job. And we really got a good look at Jessica Shepard and what she can do in that game. And, again, it's just, it's trying to fit the pieces together. But nice to have people like Enrique that you can count on. And
I don't think there's a more exciting player in college basketball. She is amazing. I mean, when she gets the ball in the middle of the floor, it's like, get out of her way. Something good's going to happen.
And Marina Mabry's had some great moments. A challenge for Marina a little bit, and that she's running the point sometimes this year. And that takes her out of some of the other things she does offensively. But defensively came up with a couple of big stops again out at Oregon.
She had some huge plays. I thought the steal and basket, and then she had just a breakaway and got another layup, 4 points in a short span. We really needed every one of them. Enrique hits the 3, and all of a sudden we finally get the lead after trailing by probably about 35 minutes of the game. We were behind.
I know our freshmen kind of wish there was 4 of them because they have to carry a lot of extra gear when we get off the buses and things when we travel. It's kind of neat to see how that works, but we have a couple of walk-ons that are helping out as well. And when you go looking for a walk-on, Coach, and this year we didn't think maybe we'd need them, and then you go look and you say, well, we're not sure what the numbers are going to be. The decision came late on Jessica Shepard, but you found a couple of young ladies not only with some talent but willingness to be team players.
Yeah, exactly. I think our bench, if you notice our bench, they are so much more energetic and enthusiastic than they were last year. I'm so happy with everybody that's out of the game because they are cheering for their teammates, and it just makes for such a much better atmosphere around the team. But Katie Cole from Toledo, Ohio, she is really doing some good things for us. She reminds everybody of Enrique because she gets the ball and she's going to the basket, so just get out of the way. And Maureen Butler also playing really well.
Yeah, and they give you a good look in practice, which is what you really need.
We need 10, Yeah. We have 11 on some days and 10 on others, but we need them all.
And Niele gets really nervous when you only have 9 because then she has to get out there and practice a little bit, which is okay because she knows what we're doing too.
She still knows what she's doing.
Yeah, exactly. And you get 2 transfers who come in with a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. they know what it takes to travel to handle those responsibilities, but they're also really eager to get in and find out what their teammates do, and it's just going to take a little bit of time.
It is going to take some time, and especially when you're a point guard with Lily Thompson at the point. She's trying to learn where they want the ball, what the mismatch is going to be, what offense is best for them, what are they looking to run, and it's a lot to learn, and she's doing such a good job of it. She's got a great basketball IQ.
There was a couple of moments in the Oregon game in the second half when during a timeout, you're talking to Carol Owens, you're talking to your staff. Neil Ivey did the scout, and you're kind of getting some ideas. And at one time, we had 3 bigs in at the same time with Catherine Westfeld in there, and they're looking around like, well, why didn't we get the rebounds? Because we were really down in the rebound category, and then by the end of the game, we wind up winning by 11.
We really did. I like that big lineup. That's going to be really good for us because Kat and Jess can both play on the perimeter. And you got Michaela inside. I think Danny's coming along. She's going to give us some great rebounding. So we have a lot of options, a lot of different looks we can give teams.
I like the way Oregon State scouted us because I think when Danielle Patterson got the ball out near the three-point arc, they didn't guard her. Well, she's not going to shoot from there. Well, hang on. She knocks down a deuce right away, and they're like, oh, what do we got to do now? So a prolific scorer, a McDonald's All-American, she can handle that shot, and she will again in the future. But it was nice to see the defense know so much about us that they really didn't know a whole lot about us.
Yeah, well, they're learning a lot, too, because they're trying to get a whole new scout. Even in the conference, there's so many new faces for us. They're going to have to really delve into it.
The trip to Oregon State was tough for a couple of reasons. On the weekend, they had a football game with Arizona State. They had 2 volleyball games. They had a men's basketball game, and they had a women's basketball game. They slid us in for an hour for a shoot-around. We played in the arena before. You're familiar with it, but it was a challenge where we had to stay about 40 miles away, and we drive to the arena. We went to a junior college to shoot around, but those are all things that veterans can handle. Exactly,
and you hope that they can. It's a really great preparation for whatever we're going to face down the road, but certainly the trip out, 5.5 hours, had to stop for fuel. Then the fuel truck was a problem in Corvallis. We had to land in Eugene, drive 45 minutes to get to the arena. But we took it all in stride, and I think that's what this team can do. They're veterans. They understand what it's going to happen.
And we can tell people, if you ever get a chance to get to Albany, Oregon, don't. But they treated us well out there, and it was a good trip. And the Irish off to a 3-0 start. And, Coach, we didn't mention much about the game against Mount St. Mary's, but, again, you got a chance to get some people in the lineup, and people did a good job. I don't think there's any question we're going to be able to score the basketball.
Well, we do have a lot of weapons, and I was really excited about Danielle Patterson getting 11 points. That's a lot for a freshman to come in. And, Michaela was a little quieter in that game after coming off a big exhibition game, but Danielle really did some good things. I think she's getting better every single day.
Got to give our medical staff some kudos also about Michaela Vaughn. We didn't know she was going to make the trip. She's in the Student Health Center. Got a little IV drip going. We get her on the plane, and Ann Marquez did a great job keeping up to date on her eating habits and keeping fluids in, and by the time the game came around, she was in pretty good shape.
Yeah, our trainers do a great job, Ann and Caitlin Sweeney on the conditioning side, and our nutritionist. We have so much support staff, and they're terrific in what they're doing, so we couldn't do it without them.
Well, the nutritionist traditionally doesn't allow butter at breakfast. I'm a little upset about that, but I don't think I'm going to play, so it's not a big deal. Coach, we got a couple of questions that have come in, and this is always fun when you get the questions, because I think Matt McGraw sent one in. He wanted to know if that was your favorite trip to Montana.
Been to Montana before, so I was really hoping we stopped in Idaho, because I've never been to Idaho.
Well, we got to fly over it.
Yeah, we did.
We got to do a lot of things. Coach, what's different this year? This year's team as opposed to some of the teams you've coached in the past?
Well, I think the biggest thing is when you have a point guard that's a 4-year starter, and you have Lindsay Allen's going to control the game, and you have Brianna Turner. You know that we're going to run pick and roll, and we're going to throw the ball to Bree, and we're going to get Lindsay just taking over the game. And we had a lot of other weapons, too. But this year, we're just so different because we have so many people that could get 20 or 30 in a game. You got Enrique, you got Jess, you got Marina, you got Jackie Young now, who's really coming along, had a great game against Oregon State. I was so pleased with what she did because, after Western Kentucky, I thought she could do a little bit more. And it's funny, I was talking to her mom, and her mom thought she could do a lot more. So we agreed on that. But went to practice the next day. She was working on keeping the ball a little bit longer, trying to get something going in transition, and I thought she was amazing.
She really was. Found a way to get down the lane. And
career high.
Yeah, she's 92% from the line, so we're pretty happy with that. Got to ask you this one because this is very pertinent. How much say do you have in making up the schedule? We only had one home game in November. Next home game is a month later. must be tough for you to coach the team through all that. But a lot of things go into that schedule, don't they?
Well, they really do. You know, we want to go places where we're going to challenge the team and prepare us for what's to come. So we want to go places that are going to get a big crowd. And we did Western Kentucky over 5,000, Oregon State over 7,000. You got to play good teams on the road. A ranked team on the road gives you more bonus points when you look at the RPI. We want to go where our players are, and it was great to take Lily back out to the West Coast. Her parents are still out there. But really, we're just trying to play good teams. So we want to have the best schedule in the country.
We had a nice turnout at Western Kentucky because the folks from Princeton were only about an hour away, so hour and a half away, I guess. So we had a lot of Jackie's family there as well. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Kayla Turner is going to join us. And we're looking forward to talking to KT, number 15 in your program. If you forgot her number, we're going to remind you about that. And then we're going to have a couple of players coming up in the following segment. Neil Ivey will be here as well. Got to send out a message as we wrap it up, this segment. Kara wants to send warm greetings to Aunt Vita, who listens to everything we do. She listens to our games, our Muffet McGraw show. So, Aunt Vita, love you. Thanks for listening. We'll be right back here at O'Rourke's Public House.
There are countless not very smart things you can do in your car. Painting your body green in support of Notre Dame basketball while driving. Painting your friend's body. Pretty much any kind of body painting while driving. But with TireRack.com, it's easy to be smart about your tires. Use our test results and consumer reviews to find the best tire for your car. Use our comparison tools to choose the right tires for you. Then have them shipped and installed fast. TireRack.com, official tire experts of Notre Dame basketball.
First Source Bank is known for being far more helpful than big impersonal banks. We're simply easier to work with, partnering with you to make it easier for you to get things done. Along with our highly rated up-to-date mobile apps, we'll serve you better than big banks do. If you aren't getting personal attention from your bank or a mobile app experience that you like, you deserve better. In fact, you deserve the best. Our service has been rated best in the Midwest 2 years in a row. Don't settle for less. Switch today and partner with us. First Source Bank, member FDIC.
Just dropped off your mom, you're finally alone. It's time to reach down and check your phone. Your mom always judges when you do that, like you're just some sort of little teenage brat. What's the big deal? It's just one tweet. You can still see everything from your seat. Just letting your followers know your plan while you T-bone a family in a minivan.
There's nothing funny about distracted driving. AT&T reminds you it can wait.
It's Black Friday at JCPenney. Save up to 40% on your favorite appliance brands. Plus, get up to 36-month special financing on qualifying appliance purchases made by November 29th. Plus, get up to a $500 Visa prepaid card. Added up, these Black Friday deals can't be beat. JCPenney. Available in select stores. Some exclusions apply. Subject to credit approval. Must request at time of purchase. Minimum monthly payments required. Visa prepaid card offer valid on major appliances purchased November 1st through the 29th, starting at $398 or more per appliance, excluding accessories. Some restrictions and exclusions apply. See store associate or jcp.com/appliances for details.
It's the Muffet McGraw Show with your host, Bob Nagel, on Pulse FM.
We welcome you back to O'Rourke's Public House, and glad you're with us tonight. Great crowd on hand here, and a couple of our players are getting a bite to eat. We're going to be talking with them in just a moment, but got a chance now to visit with Kayla Turner and Coach McGraw alongside. And, Coach, when you think back at Kayla Turner, a lot of great memories with this young lady. What a great teammate and a great player for Notre Dame, and some of you really had that spirit of what you need as a teammate.
You know, she was somebody that could always make me smile, and she just knew when we needed a little bit of humor to diffuse a tense situation. She was kind of the yin and yang with her and Skylar. She was the calming presence and the one that really brought us all back.
Kayla was a co-captain with Skylar Diggins on a team that went 35-2. And I think the best thing I can remember, the thing that pops into my head about the 2012-2013 season, is 3 wins over Connecticut in the same year, which nobody's ever done. And Kayla's got to be great to think back being a part of that special team.
Yeah, I'm extremely blessed to be able to, play with the players that I did play with and, have the best coaching staff in the country. So it's definitely shaped me into who I am today. So pretty blessed for that.
One of our questions came from, might have been a former teammate, I'm not sure, but she said, who is your favorite teammate of all time? Erica. Not sure who asked that question, but thoughts about some of your teammates on that team? You can't really say too much. You have one of the best point guards that ever played at Notre Dame.
We have Natalie Novosel, who's probably one of the best offensive players I've ever played with. Devereaux Peters, Natalie Chanwa, Kayla McBride that just had her jersey retired. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, they're all Hall of Famers, so it's awesome.
And they really brought in. I mean, that season was so special. We had a loss early on in that year to Baylor on the road, and after that just got it going and took it all the way into the national Final Four. When you think about what it takes to get that done, you really have to stay focused on one game at a time and who we are as much as who we're playing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Coach does a really good job of that, of, in practice of, not letting us, think about maybe a weekend game that we have that's a really big game. I mean, we're focused on every single game that there is. There's no skipping over any games, and she doesn't take that for granted, and neither did we. So.
It really gets to be something about setting a standard and then playing to our standard. And I mean, you see that year after year. Not real interested in if we get a 12-point win over an average team. We didn't do what we do, and that's always been the kind of the standard that we've set.
Yeah, I mean, year after year, I mean, you see that. Coach doesn't change. She doesn't change her philosophies. I went to practice today. It's the same old. I mean, I think it was a little maybe easier than what I went through. But she doesn't change her philosophies. The culture is set, and, the players do a really good job of buying into her culture. It's great.
It's a lot easier now because, they weren't as tough as you now.
That's very true.
Yeah, it's still a challenge. Kayla Turner came to us from Joliet, Illinois, Marian Catholic High School. You're enrolled in the College of Arts and Letters. Talk about what your degree was in and what you're doing now.
So my degree was in psychology. So I'm.
What do you mean by that?
So yeah, I use it daily, in my personal life and my profession. But so I'm in sales. So I manage half of Ohio, their retail business. So it's a little bit of transition. I lived in Chicago and worked there for 4 years with E&J Gallo, and now I just got moved to Cincinnati for 7 months. So I've been there for 7 months at least.
So you'll be in Ohio when the Final Four comes to Columbus. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. We're planning on being there. We get it set up.
One game at a time. One
of the things, Coach, and this happens every year. You bring in a player. You had 1,231 points in your high school career. Pretty prolific. Best player Marion ever had. One of the best players ever to come out of Joliet. And you come to Notre Dame, and you wind up not being a 1,000-point scorer.
Right.
But you wind up being a valuable part of a very good team. Talk about what the transition has to be to put the team first and not worry about the other things.
It's tough in the beginning, right? Because you're just so used to, a certain, level of playing, and then you realize, like, whoa, I'm playing with a lot of Hall of Famers out here, future All-Stars, future WNBA All-Stars. And it's just, about finding your role and finding your place. And my teammates, they had all the confidence in the world in me, and so did the coaching staff. So it's just about finding your role and understanding your role and making sure you're putting forth that role and effort every day.
Well, I know you made Skylar Diggins a better player in practice every day, getting in her grill and making her work for what she got. And you also had a point, you never lost your confidence either. There was a point in your senior year where you had to play a lot of minutes, and you came out and drained some threes, and everybody's like, I didn't know she could show. Oh, yeah, I could, I got game. But you never lost the confidence that you had.
No, I think, like I said, the coaching staff, Coach McGraw especially, and the rest of the team, they had a lot of confidence in me, and it's just all about bringing it out. And I think that's what it's all about. That's what it's about being on a team and really understanding each other and bringing out the best of each other. So.
Well, Coach was going to call you a couple weeks ago. We weren't sure if we had Lily coming in, but then we had we had an injury, and there was always talk about seeing if you had any eligibility left. But what have you seen in our team this year that gets you excited? It's a puzzle that's still being put together, but it's an exciting puzzle when it gets finished.
Yeah, I think it's exciting because there's endless opportunity for each player. There's endless opportunity for someone to be the leader, someone to be the scoring leader, someone to be the leader in the locker room. There's just a lot of opportunity for growth, and I'm excited to see what they do this year.
It's going to be fun. And Coach, if you had a number of players on the bench that had Kayla Turner's attitude, it would be a great place, good situation, wouldn't it?
It would be perfect, actually. She's just one of my all-time favorites. Just her attitude over 4 years and how we've got to know each other, and just it's great that now we can look back and consider her a friend.
Well, when you see Kayla Turner in the Purcell Pavilion pointing at banners, she's saying, I made her good. I made her good. And we could have a couple more up there. But, Kayla, I really appreciate you coming and being on the show today. And wish you all the best of luck and hope we see you at Ohio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How about a hand for Kayla Turner joining us here on the Muffet McGraw Show. We've got a break coming up, and then we're going to visit with a couple of our players from this year's squad. We're glad you're with us. And we'll be back in just a couple of minutes here at O'Rourke's Public House at the Eddy Street Commons.
Big banks brag about technology while taking customers for granted with poor customer service when you need help in person. First Source Bank has great technology with highly rated mobile apps. Big banks don't all have highly rated apps like us, but we also have something even more important that big banks don't. Great personal customer service. We're rated the best service in the Midwest 2 years in a row. You deserve better. Switch to First Source Bank. We'll serve you well personally and with highly rated mobile apps. Don't settle for less. Switch today and partner with us. First Source Bank. Member FDIC.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well, you're not fooling the cop behind you.
What?
Get ready to pay in 0.1 miles.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's Black Friday at JCPenney. Save up to 40% on your favorite appliance brands. Plus, get up to 36 months special financing on qualifying appliance purchases made by November 29th. Plus, get up to a $500 Visa prepaid card. Added up, these Black Friday deals can't be beat. JCPenney. Available in select stores. Some exclusions apply. Subject to credit approval. Must request at time of purchase. Minimum monthly payments required. Visa prepaid card offer valid on major appliances purchased November 1st through the 29th, starting at $398 or more per appliance, excluding accessories. Some restrictions and exclusions apply. See store associate or jcp.com/appliances for details.
There are countless not very smart things you can do in your car. Painting your body green in support of Notre Dame basketball while driving. Painting your friend's body. Pretty much any kind of body painting while driving. But with TireRack.com, it's easy to be smart about your tires. Use our test results and consumer reviews to find the best tire for your car. Use our comparison tools to choose the right tires for you. Then have them shipped and installed fast. TireRack.com, official tire experts of Notre Dame basketball.
Live from O'Rourke's Public House in Eddy Street Commons, it's the Muffet McGraw Show on Pulse FM.
And welcome back to O'Rourke's Public House, where we have a good crowd on hand tonight. We're glad you're here to enjoy the Muffet McGraw Show. We have a couple of our players joining us now. Lily Thompson, who hails from Mansfield, Texas, is alongside, and also Danielle Patterson, who's from Brooklyn, New York. And Matt McGraw tells me, as long as you're from New York, you're all right. So Matt's a New York guy, so we're glad to have you with us, ladies. And first of all, let's talk to Danielle first. You're the freshman on one of the two freshmen on the team, and done an outstanding job. I love the way you squared up yesterday at Oregon State. I mean, they don't want to guard you? A little disrespect, huh?
Yeah, they backed up, so I pulled it.
Well, and you've got that. I mean, that's one of the things about your game coming in. The scouting reports all said you can score on the block, you can score on the perimeter, and it's a nice problem to have, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I just getting comfortable with the offense, and I saw an opportunity there, so I took it.
Talk a little bit about your high school. I know you transferred high schools after your sophomore year, and you graduated from a very prestigious school, well known for not only its athletics, but its academics.
Right. So I graduated from the Mary Louis Academy, and I mean, that was the best 2 years that I've had there in high school. We had the opportunity last year to win a state championship and our city championship. So that was just a great moment for me to share with my teammates.
There's also a list of some other championships you're involved with. There's a Title IX championship. There was a Boo Williams championship. I mean, one of the things that the coach, when you're recruiting a player, and all the coaches look at is, did you win a championship? There's a lot of really good players out there, but when you win a championship, it takes a little bit more as far as intestinal fortitude to get that done. That was a big part of your resume. Yeah,
definitely. I think just having a winning mentality and being able to get after it every single time we went out there. Coach really pushed us in practice to step up our game and put a lot of pressure on my back just to, make my teammates better, and that's really important to me.
So far here at Notre Dame, you've had a couple different roles, and you had an 11-point game, which is great to have that kind of a game already. And then you went in and played some key moments yesterday against Oregon State. What's the experience been like so far? And, when you look at what you expected and what's going on, following pretty close to the path that you thought it'd be?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been a big transition for me, just learning a bunch of new things, trying to soak everything in. And my teammates and my coaches have definitely been there for me, every step of the way. So that's made it a lot easier, just being a freshman and trying to understand, the new concepts. So.
And carrying the extra luggage when you get off the plane?
Right. Yep.
I'll tell you what, the end of freshman year is always so special because, like that last trip, you'll be throwing bags and say, I'm done with this. Lily Thompson is with us as well. And She used to be known as Kalia.
Kalia. Yep.
And so they shortened it to Lily, which is probably a little easier. But glad to have you with us. You're from Mansfield, Texas.
Yes, sir.
And you were born in Missouri.
Yep.
Folks should know that your dad's kind of a career military officer. And
my mom as well.
Your mom as well.
Yeah, both of them.
Wow. So a little discipline in the Thompson house?
Just a tad.
Yeah. Talk about what that was like, because I had a brother-in-law that was he retired as a major in the Army, and his family moved a lot. Mm-hmm. But while it was a challenge in some ways, it was also a great opportunity to learn how to meet people, get along with other people, and explore other parts of the country. Talk about that experience for you.
I definitely agree. Me and my siblings, we moved schools a lot. We had to learn how to make new friends and find places where we fit in. Sports was a big part of that, but I definitely think you learn how to fit in with people, you learn how to get to know people, and that's important when you're on a team as well.
And everybody needs a point guard.
Everyone needs a point guard.
There you go. So you took care of business there. You were at Stanford for 3 years, two times Pac-12 first team. You were on the all-freshman team in the Pac-12. Talk about the transition and what it's been like to come to Notre Dame.
It's been a good transition so far. I took a year off, so there was a little bit of rust that I had to knock off and get back in shape. But I think a lot of the principles of coming from a winning mentality and playing for a Hall of Fame coach are the same. And so I've just been trying to find my spot on the team and contribute.
I know when you're here about maybe a couple weeks into the fall practice session, you kind of turned your ankle a little bit. You almost had that attitude like, oh, I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
That can happen, but 100% not.
Yeah, definitely. Never fun to deal with injuries, but it's just part of the game.
Well, there's always plenty of crutches on our plane. We've had some injuries, but again, it's an opportunity for other people to step up. And you spent some time this summer. One of your favorite pastimes that folks should know about is your love for the game of golf. Did you get a chance to play this summer?
I actually didn't. I was about to head out and get my clubs shipped in from California where my parents are at when I turned my ankle, so I'll have to wait until after the season to hit the course.
Okay, well, you don't have to wait for your clubs to get here. Matt has a couple of sets, so he'll hook you up, but that's going to be fun to get a chance to play after April.
Definitely.
We're busy till then. Danielle, talk about the experience of the travel and the challenges of just the day-to-day. I mean, every day, like we got back last night, probably back on campus about 10:30.
Right.
And we're leaving in another day and a half to go to Florida, and there's laundry involved, but the other thing is just trying to keep everything organized and your academics at the top of the list.
Yeah, I think it's just prioritizing, just making sure that you're staying on top of everything that you can, staying in control of your schoolwork, making sure that you're eating right, just all those like little things that maybe in high school you didn't pay too much attention to, but now you do as a college athlete.
We have a trainer who travels with us, and we also have one of our exercise technicians who travels with us, and a nutritionist who approves our list of what you can and can't eat. Mm-hmm. And it makes for a little bit more of a disciplined approach, but again, you're learning a lot about that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And just making sure that I'm staying on top of everything that I can. And like I said before, my teammates and coaches, nutritionists, everyone's had a hand in that, so that's helped a lot in the transition.
Lily, you've got 15 assists so far in our first 3 games, and have done a great job of distributing the basketball. A couple of things, against Western Kentucky, they ran a full court press at us, and we turned the ball over. And I said on the broadcast, I said, don't get too concerned about whether or not we can handle this. We can handle it. It's just the communication. I mean, so much of what goes on the floor, offensively, defensively, is communication. And we're just, we're a new group. We got 2 transfers, we got 2 walk-ons, we got 2 freshmen, and a lot of new faces out there trying to learn what we're going to do, but the progress has been terrific.
It has. Every game we get a little bit better. Every practice we get a little bit better. And everyone's getting to know each other, know each other's strengths and how to communicate. So we're definitely getting there.
You saw a nice development yesterday in the game against Oregon State, and that Jackie Young was a little bit of a mismatch for them. And I've always said this, when we had Skylar Diggins, K-Mac, and Natalie Novosel, the other team's going to have a best defender and then a second best defender. Very few teams have a third best defender. In other words, somebody that they don't match up with. So we've got Marina Mabry on one wing, we've got Enrique on another wing, we've got Jackie Young, and Jackie said, you know what, I don't think she can guard me. She drew 2 fouls on her. And then they didn't make a very good adjustment. We made the adjustment. We found the open player, and it really capitalized. It's got to be nice to have so many different opportunities out there.
It really is. And as the point guard, being able to look in either direction and see someone who can step up like Jackie did. She did an amazing job down the stretch for us and really gave us a boost that helped us win that game.
She really is that good, isn't she?
Oh, she's even better.
Yeah, she set all the scoring records in the state of Indiana for boys and girls for a reason. She was a very prolific scorer and will continue to be for us. One of the things, too, that happened in that game is they had a 6'8 player. They had a 6'5 player. Some of the post things we thought, that have been going well didn't go quite as well. We tried to, draw some fouls and things like that. But even when you got in the game, Danielle, it was like there was a development where we had to find a different way. And maybe a little bit more quickness. Catherine Westphal did a nice job. Had 6 rebounds, and Michaela Vaughn came in and did some good things on the board. I mean, Coach McGraw is really excited about the different puzzle pieces that she has that she can play in this game of basketball chess.
Yeah, I think we have a bunch of different players that are great at so many different things, and I think we're all talented. So I think it's going to really make for a great season this year just to see how we all progress and what that leads to.
Now, so far this week, we're going to go from Oregon to Florida.
Yeah.
That's about as far as you can go. I don't know if you checked that out. We could go from Southern Cal, I guess, up to Boston, and we'll be there later this year. But this is a tremendous amount of travel and a tremendous chance to see a lot of things around the country. And I know, Lily, you're in your 5th year, but you got to think back of where you've been and the things you've gotten to do. It's going to be a tremendous opportunity as well as playing basketball.
Yep.
Where do you want to go?
I want to make it to a national championship game along with, I know all these girls do, so just working to get back to that. So just continuously every single day working for that.
Well, a lot of good things going on, and as I said, it's almost like Coach McGraw's in a chariot with 10 horses in front of her. Not sure exactly where they're going all the time, but they know we're going.
Yep.
So we're moving forward and we're making a lot of progress. Congratulations on what's happened already.
Thank you.
And I know you're excited about spending Thanksgiving down in Florida, where it's expected to be warmer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get a chance to get down there and have a great time. But thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Did a great job, and we'll look forward to seeing you in our next game, which will be Friday night down at Estero, Florida. We're going to be playing down there in the Gulf Coast Tournament, and we're going to be taking on East Tennessee State University. Any thoughts on East Tennessee yet?
Not just yet. Played in this tournament 2 years ago, so excited to get back and get into practice with the coaches and get the game plan down.
All righty. Well, thank you, Lily. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Danielle Patterson, Lily Thompson joining us here on the Muffet McGraw Show. We've got a break coming up. We're right back. We're going to talk with Coach McGraw, and Neil Ivey will be joining us in just a moment. Stay with us here from O'Rourke's Public House at Eddy Street Commons.
Join the gang at O'Rourke's Public House, located in Eddy Street Commons, directly across the street from the Notre Dame campus. With an extensive selection of menu items, they're sure you'll find something to your liking. Experience dining at one of the 5 different Irish-themed areas overlooking Notre Dame's beautiful campus. Whether you're catching up with an old friend, having a meeting, or enjoying dinner with your family, O'Rourke's is the place to be. Visit them online at o'rourkespublichouse.com. Cheers to the Irish from O'Rourke's, the official home of the Muffet McGraw Radio Show.
3 great programs, countless savings, 1 location. Get a jump start on your shopping with great deals during the Early Bird Black Friday sale for Notre Dame men's basketball, women's basketball, and hockey. Avoid the shopping lines and enjoy the convenience of ordering tickets from home at UND.com/buy tickets. On sale now. Receive up to 50% off regular pricing. For hockey, prices start at just $10 for reserved seats for Big Ten Series Showdown with perennial powerhouse Minnesota on November 24th and 25th. Also, don't miss Notre Dame men's basketball with Upper Arena tickets just $10 for non-conference matchups in December. Women's basketball tickets are just $5 for Upper Arena and include December matchups with Michigan State and DePaul, along with ACC matchups against Clemson in January and North Carolina in February. The Notre Dame Athletics Black Friday sale. On sale now and ends the 28th at midnight. Save up to 50% off. Tickets, visit UND.com/buy tickets or call 574-631-7356. Go Irish.
First Source Bank is known for being far more helpful than big impersonal banks. We're simply easier to work with, partnering with you to make it easier for you to get things done. Along with our highly rated up-to-date mobile apps, we'll serve you better than big banks do. If you aren't getting personal attention from your bank or a mobile app experience that you like, you deserve better. In fact, you deserve the best. Our service has been rated best in the Midwest 2 years in a row. Don't settle for less. Switch today and partner with us. First Source Bank, member FDIC.
We're talking Notre Dame women's basketball. It's the Muffet McGraw Show on Pulse FM.
And welcome back to O'Rourke's Public House. What a great crowd we have on hand tonight. We're going to have a couple more, 2 more shows this year. Well, 1 more show this year. Then we go into January and February, but we're going to look at those dates, and I've got them here somewhere.
I'm not looking ahead, Bob. I'm taking it one show at a time.
One show at a time? Sounds like a cliche if I ever heard it. Didn't have to have any notes about Niele Ivey. Niele Ivey's joining us, outstanding player here at Notre Dame. Starting guard on a national championship team in 2001. Played a lot of years in WNBA. And been a member of our staff now for quite a while. And, Coach, you always talk about your staff. I know you said that you're like Moses. You're going to die leaning on your staff. But, talk about this lady and what she's meant to you, not only as a member of your staff and your team, but also as a terrific person in your life and our life.
You know, from the first moment I saw her play, I thought, this is somebody that I want to coach. I just felt a connection with Niele from the very beginning, and having had the opportunity to coach her, and I just love her. I can't imagine having a better relationship with anybody, because she was somebody that was so coachable, wanted to learn, worked so hard. Her coach told me she's the hardest worker in the country, which every high school coach tells me. And she really was. I mean, she was always 100% every single day. Great attitude, big smile coming into the office. And then, you know, the knee injuries just felt like I was the one that got hurt. I mean, it was just so tragic to see her go down. And then to come back and know that God had a plan to bring her back to St. Louis for their 5th year to win the national championship was like just one of the great blessings of all time.
It really was, and so much of a challenge there. And we see that all the time. You know, we saw that obviously with Brianna Turner, and she's going to come back and have a great year next year, and we're looking forward to that. And when something like that happens, you just say it's part of the game. But Niele, you grew so much from those experiences. Talk about what that was like. Not so much that you had the injuries, but the fact that you never lost your dream and your focus on being a successful member of this team.
Well, I had a lot of support. I mean, I don't think I would have been able to go through those knee surgeries if I didn't have Coach McGraw and her staff and the coaching staff and my teammates that just supported me and believed in me. You know, she could have easily just recruited over me, but she knew that I was going to come back. And, with great strength and conditioning, I mean, I credit everybody around me. Sometimes you need a family, a network around you that can help you through those, rough times. And then, like you said, I had big aspirations and dreams, especially here at Notre Dame, and I had goals, coming in as a freshman. And so I really wanted to fight hard and strong to get back.
Coach talks about Catherine Westfeld, and a member of the team now, being a glue player, holds everything together. On that national championship team, when you think about all the members of that team, you had Erica Haney who was on that team. We had a freshman who could shoot a 3 pretty well, Alicia Ratai. You had Ruth Riley, who might be the best post player of all time. Kelly Seaman, who had really come back focused, and yet it took somebody to really knit that thing together and keep the team focused to accomplish that goal.
Yeah, and I just think that, they respected the fact that how hard I came, how hard I worked. I worked so hard to come back, from the knee injuries, and I think that, just being a point guard, being a leader, I found a way to try to gel all those type of talents together, and we just loved each other. I think, you have a great team or you have great chemistry because you love to play with each other, and I feel like that we really developed that bond over the years, and Coach McGraw did a great job of putting a great staff or a great team together with the pieces. You need all certain pieces in order to be successful, and I think they put together a great team at that time.
Coach, I think it was one of the great examples. There are coaches in your program as well where you maybe try to go out at one time, we got to get the best players. And then you decide you got to get the best people because then they can play together. Was there a better person in the world than Ruth Riley? Was there a better turnaround than Kelly Seaman had her senior year? Was there better potential talent than Erica Haney and also Alicia Ratai, who were, role players on a team that really had a solid core, but wonderful people on that team.
Yeah, I learned that lesson a long time ago. We had one losing season here at Notre Dame, and I had the player of the year in the country. and just terrible chemistry. I mean, it just was awful. And that's when I learned a really valuable lesson for recruiting, in that it's not about how talented you are. It's about the teammate that you're going to be. It's about how unselfish you can be. It's all about the team and not me. And so I think that really served me well, I think, for the rest of my career.
You were fortunate when you first got here, too. You had a group of people who bought in and had that same kind of chemistry that has carried them now. I don't want to say how many years it's been since you got here, but that same group really bought in and got the thing turned around right away. And so that's been a quality that you have as a coach, being able to engender that kind of an effort.
Well, and how lucky was it to come in with Karen Robinson, Sarah Liebster, and Chrissy Davis? I mean, they were here when I got here. I didn't recruit them, and the foundation of our program. I mean, they really built it. And I think we've had such great point guards. And you look back at Karen Robinson, and then we had Megan Duffy, and then, of course, Niele, just the shining star of all of them. And then she brings Skylar in, and then we have Lindsay Allen. So, I mean, it's kind of a program that is really known for its point guards.
Well, and again, when you go out recruiting, one of the things that people should know is, like, if a recruit comes in, and we had him in this weekend, or this year we've had a couple of weekends for recruits, the big meeting is on Monday when you sit down with the team and say, what do you think? And they really have to say yes, don't they?
They do. They got to fit in. I mean, that's what Niele. She's such a great recruiter. She does it all. She's got the personality. She's got the charisma, and she works so hard at it. And she's just one of the best coaches in the country, if not the best. And I'm, every year I worry we're going to lose her this year because everybody wants her as their head coach, and I'm just glad I got her for one more year.
When you went out and recruited a player like Arike Ogunbowale, now, you told me that she committed after she found out I could pronounce her name.
She was excited about that.
It really had nothing
to
do with it.
That is very tough.
Again, you've got to be able to not only to try to build that dream in a player when they come in here about winning a championship and that kind of thing, but you've got to find players that already had that kind of quality. And Arike, she was ready to play when she got here.
Absolutely. And like Coach said, it's all about the intangibles as well, as far as fitting in our program and making sure we have the right chemistry, high character type kids that we look for, and also kids that know how to win on the high school level. We're trying to, we are doing our research of, who's won a high school championship. And so we know that those players have the drive in order to help our program. And so we, definitely looking at a lot of different things. But Arike obviously had that, USA basketball experience, and she was just a winner.
We were talking to Danielle Patterson. I mean, look at her list of championships. It's pretty impressive that that girl can play. And over the years, you've had players that have won conference championships, state championships, and always compete at that highest level. There's no way to substitute for knowing how that feels to be at the line with a game on the.
Yeah, it's so important, and I think just about everybody on our team has won a state championship in one of their years as a high school player, and certainly the kids that we're looking at now are going to continue that.
We've got a nice group coming in next year, people who have already sent their letter of, we got them the next day. It was kind of funny, like we have to have a piece of paper, you have to send it to us.
Yes.
And like, what's a fax machine these days? I mean, everybody's twittering and things like that. But we got an outstanding group. Talk about what we found that's ready to come in next year.
I think all four of our in recruits they all fit the mold of what we needed. We needed a point guard, and Jordan Nixon fit that role. She's a great hard worker. Is one that coach at on the high school level, and was really successful in AAU. Had USA basketball experience. She's going to come in and play right away. Make a great impact. Caitlin Gilbert down the road, smooth, athletic player that can play multiple positions, and we have an inside presence with Danielle Cosgrove. She has the ability to stretch to the three-point line. It's going to be perfect within our offense. And also Abby Prohaska, just a tremendous glue player. She's going to remind you of a Hannah Huffman, Maddie Cable type of player. Always diving for the ball for loose ends. Loose balls on the floor, and lefty, just really hard, gritty, crafty type player. So I think they all fit exactly what we needed, and so we're really excited about them. And they all great kids.
Yeah, they seem to remember a South Carolina game where Hannah Huffman and Maddie Cable combined for a pretty good finish.
It was a pretty good finish. I see that picture every day as I walk into the office. That just brings a big smile on my face.
I tell you what, and again, you got to know your role and when you need it and when you can help out, and you got to come in with that attitude. And this group coming in next year looks like they're going to be not only a big part of how we want to build a program, but they're going to be joining a pretty elite group coming back. I don't know if you heard, but Brianna Turner will be back next year, And we're going to be a team with a lot of depth. We are this year as well. So it's
yeah,
exciting.
big things next year. Great recruiting class.
We should mention Neil's got somebody that she's been keeping an eye on. A guy that's playing over at Marion High School that's doing pretty well. What happened to your little boy?
I know, he's a man. Every time I come off the road trip, he's a little bit taller. So
Jaden Ivy's over at Marion High School, folks. Keep an eye on that guy. He can shoot the lights out, and he's worked really hard to be a good basketball player, and now he's physically catching up with the other guys. They used to push him around. It's going to be interesting to see that.
Can't wait for that coaching parade to come through the Ivy living room.
That's right. All the recruiters will be coming in and just saying, I know how this works. Yeah. One more thing we should mention before we go to our next break is that this past year has been a celebration for the McGraws in a lot of ways, but 40th wedding anniversary this past year. So Matt has been an overachiever for over 40 years, and we're really proud of that. Congratulations. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back at O'Rourke's Public House, and we'll wrap up this segment of the Muffet McGraw Show in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us.
Notre Dame women's basketball on Pulse FM is brought to us by Michiana Sleep and ENT Solutions, State Farm agent Bonnie Menting, Jordan Auto Group, State Line Dairy Queen Niles, Papa Vino's Italian Kitchen, Battery Tech of Millersburg, Home Comfort Experts, David Aronowski CPA, and Wakarusa Ag.
And the fans are really celebrating with the Irish here.
Your home for Notre Dame women's basketball. Positive Hits, Pulse FM.
3 great programs, countless savings, one location. Get a jump start on your shopping with great deals during the Early Bird Black Friday sale for Notre Dame men's basketball, women's basketball, and hockey. Avoid the shopping lines and enjoy the convenience of ordering tickets from home at UND.com/buy tickets. On sale now. Receive up to 50% off regular pricing. For hockey, prices start at just $10 for reserved seats for Big Ten Series Showdown with perennial powerhouse Minnesota on November 24th and 25th. Also, don't miss Notre Dame men's basketball with Upper Arena tickets just $10 for non-conference matchups in December. Women's basketball tickets are just $5 for Upper Arena and include December matchups with Michigan State and DePaul, along with ACC matchups against Clemson in January and North Carolina in February. The Notre Dame Athletics Black Friday sale. On sale now and ends the 28th at midnight. Save up to 50% off. Tickets, visit UND.com/buy tickets or call 574-631-7356. Go Irish.
Big banks brag about technology while taking customers for granted with poor customer service when you need help in person. FirstSource Bank has great technology with highly rated mobile apps. Big banks don't all have highly rated apps like us, but we also have something even more important that big banks don't. Great personal customer service. We're rated the best service in the Midwest 2 years in a row. You deserve better. Switch to FirstSource Bank. We'll serve you well personally and with highly rated mobile apps. Don't settle for less. Switch today and partner with us. FirstSource Bank. Member FDIC.
This is Notre Dame women's basketball.
This is Muffet McGraw. Thanks for following the Irish on Pulse FM.
We're back with you from O'Rourke's Public House at Eddy Street Commons, and thanks to everyone who was here tonight. We had some great questions sent in. And, Coach, as we begin our final segment, got to ask you a couple. What kind of stuffing, meat or bread, will Matt make for Thanksgiving?
Bread.
Bread? Stuffing, Matt. We're going to be in Florida. He's not going to make anything.
No, he won't be.
No.
He is a good cook, though.
Coach, here's a question. What can we expect from the class coming in next year? And are you still looking for anyone to move here or be part of the next class?
You know, I think we're good. We got 4 coming in. We're ranked in the top 10. I think we were, 6th or 7th on the list. So another top 10 class, courtesy of Neil Ivy.
Very nice. Coach, what's your favorite sugary treat?
Got to go with dark chocolate. And right now it's dark chocolate covered almonds. And yeah.
Nice. Nice. Here's a question we get every year on the Muffet McGraw Show. Is it hard to kneel on the sidelines wearing high heels?
It's
not.
easier.
I've tried, no.
Easier.
Yeah. I can't even imagine. That'd be attraction. And here's one, Coach, that I think, and I know it's not your favorite subject, but this is a good question from Rita. Rita, you here today? Rita's here. And she wanted to know, what was your favorite moment from the Hall of Fame induction, all the things that went on this past fall?
It's hard to pick just one. You hear your name and you start to walk on stage, and the first thing you think is, don't trip. Just make it up there, okay? And then you look out at all these people, and they're waiting for you to start talking, and the emotion just really is overwhelming. But I think just kind of being on the red carpet and being with Matt and Murph and Francesca. It was just it was a great moment. Look out, the staff is there, and my family and friends. Just sharing it with everybody was really what made it special.
Speaking of your family, everybody knows Patty, right? You know the McGraw sisters when they come to town, right? The
O'Brien.
I'm sorry, the O'Briens. When they come in and they get the green shirts on, and you got to tell them about Patty and Larry Bird.
Well, actually, Peg and Patty both were with me, and Peg really loves Larry Bird. So he walked by, he was almost this close, and she was screaming his name, Larry! Larry! And he, of course, did not turn around. She practically tackled him on the red carpet to get a picture with him, and put her head on his shoulder, and just she had a great time.
Yeah.
She's the fun sister.
There was a lot of great people there, and
yeah.
You mentioned Bill Self among them. You met some outstanding people, and if you're that successful to be in the Hall of Fame, there are reasons for that. A lot of it has to do with the character and the way you've conducted yourself.
And George McGinnis, an Indiana guy, what a great guy. Really enjoyed spending some time with him.
Coach, we got a busy couple of weeks coming up still. We just got back from Corvallis, Oregon, and now we get to go to Estero, Florida, which is near Fort Myers. And the Gulf Coast tournament's going to be a chance to see some different teams. East Tennessee State is our first game, and somebody said, oh, you got an easy one. Well, they just beat Duquesne, who's a pretty good team, and this is a team that has some size. Good challenge coming up.
Yeah, there are no easy games, really. The exhibition game was the easy game on our schedule. From here on out, everybody we play is going to be a challenge for us, especially when you're on the road. You just never know how you're going to shoot the ball. You never know if foul trouble or different things are going to happen. 3 games in a row with a pretty short bench. How's that going to go? We got a lot of things to be ready for. We are a work in progress, and we got a lot of work to do.
It could be South Florida or Washington State in the second game. And South Florida, a team that program we're very familiar with, former member of the Big East with us.
We had so many tough games down there. I remember the year we beat UConn at Connecticut and almost lost to South Florida, won in overtime immediately after that game. So they're a team that definitely knows us well.
And there's another team down there in that tournament, South Carolina, defending national champions. There's a chance that we could meet them on Sunday if everything goes well. And again, it's what you're looking for when you get into these tournaments. You want to test yourself early and see what we've got to do.
Yeah, you're hoping for that opportunity, and we got to play well to get there.
Well, Dawn Saley is the head coach down there. We have a chance we've played her before, so looking forward to that. And then we get a chance to go to Michigan. Now, in a year when you're on the road a lot, the ACC calls and said the ACC Big Ten Challenge game for you will be at Michigan. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we got 2 busloads ready to go, though.
Anybody going up to Michigan? Oh, yeah, a lot of our hands are up here. That's great. Look forward to seeing you up there. And it's supposed to be better weather than it was 2 years ago. We were up there in a big snowstorm a couple years ago. But, again, all those things go into making us better when we need to be, and that's by tournament time and certainly when we get into the ACC conference.
Scheduled by Beth Cunningham. So if you have any complaints, that's who you want to address them to.
Yeah, there were talk out a way back about if Beth sends us to Corvallis again, there'll be some issues there. Coach, what do you think the biggest development needs to be between now and, let's say, the end of the year? I know you're still looking at parts. You're looking at how it works together. Sometimes it's 3 people together. Maybe it's 2. But you're always looking for those opportunities. What's the big development that has to continue?
There's a lot of things. It's at the defensive end, and it's boxing out. I think is the most important thing that we've got to do. We've been giving up a ton of offensive rebounds, and they've really been hurting us. Teams are scoring 15, 20 points off the offensive boards. We have got to do a better job.
Well, I tell you, it turned around in the second half against Oregon State, which was great.
Yeah, it really did.
We were behind early in the rebounding. And, again, you could go with 3 bigs at one time if you needed to, and we did. And Catherine Westbeld, and you look at her line score, it says no points, but she had 6 rebounds, a couple of assists, and was really a great force out there.
Well, she's that glue on the floor for us. We've got to get her back and healthy.
Got one more question, Coach. What advice would you give a woman who is excited about the idea of becoming a collegiate basketball coach?
You have to have a great spouse if you want to be successful in this business, because it's hard, and you need people that you can lean on. You need to have a great staff. That's the most important thing. You got a great staff around you and people that are there to help you, and it's really just go for it and have a good time. Enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. That's what I keep telling myself, although I haven't quite done it yet.
Well, I'll tell you what, you've had some great moments, obviously, some great teams, and I think we've got one here. It just the upside for this team, especially offensively, is
tremendous,
out of this world, and the defense will continue to come around. So, Coach, great being with you. And
you too, Bob.
Look forward to our next Muffet McGraw radio show. Will be on December 11th, and we'll get underway at 6 p.m. right here at O'Rourke's Public House, and then we'll be here on January 22nd, February 12th, and February 26th as well. Our next game coming up Friday night, 7:30 against East Tennessee State down in Florida. We hope you'll join us on Pulse FM for all the excitement there. I want to thank Bob Henning, our engineer, for our broadcast tonight. I also want to thank Dan Bonner, Nathan Bush, Timothy Moyer, all the staff here from Fighting Irish Media. We appreciate all their help, and we also want to thank Katie Capps, all of our staff. They do such a great job. Eric, everybody, thank you for being here tonight. We look forward to seeing you on our next broadcast, and again, we'll be here on December 11th. Until then, happy Thanksgiving. Follow the Irish down in Florida this weekend. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for the Muffet McGraw Show, featuring the head coach of the Fighting Irish women's basketball team, Muffet McGraw. Tonight's show has been brought to you by First Source Bank, by the Tire Rack, and by O'Rourke's Public House at Eddy Street Commons.
Now they try to go inside, and Enrique Ogumbawali. A 3-on-1 break. Got it to Marina, laid it up and in.
The Muffet McGraw Show, on your home for Notre Dame women's basketball. Pulse FM.